Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Fatima, and today we are going to discuss at a junior level after MBBS if we have to go for FCPS Part 1, how we have to proceed and how we have to prepare ourselves for Part 1 FCPS examination. This presentation is particularly, actually, it's a general presentation, but I will tell you how we have to prepare specialty as well. So I will discuss especially anesthesia in this particular preparation. So the persons, the colleagues, the juniors who are going to prepare for FCPS Part 1 in anesthesia, this presentation is for them as well. As well as this is the presentation for all the doctors who are going to appear in Part 1 FCPS in any other specialty, because it's a general guide as well. So let's begin today's topic of discussion. Goals of this discussion will be which books we need to study, which subjects we need to study, and if I am doing anesthesiology or if I am doing ophthalmology, so specialty wise how I have to prepare myself and which books I need for them. Then which study strategies should be applied for FCPS Part 1 preparation, as well as how we have to revise all the data we have stored in our mind in last days of preparation before exam. Let's start with the books. So we have again segregated three categories of books, and the first category is textbooks, second is revision books, and then we have got MCQ books. Guys, this is the preparation strategy, or this is the preparation theme which I have followed, and these are the books which I have read. You can buy other books as well which are available in market, and if your seniors refer to some other books, you are more than welcome to go for these books. This is the strategy I applied on myself for preparing in Part 1 examination. So we have got textbooks, which is Snell's Review of Anatomy, Kaplan Anatomy, Kaplan Physiology, Kaplan Pharmacology, Pathorma, and Specialty books. Well, as far as Kaplan Neuroanatomy, Physiology, and Pharmacology are concerned, you can replace these books by BRS. BRS is also available in the market. I read BRS. I started with BRS Physiology, but I could not grab that knowledge written in those books because they are very dry. For me, at least, they are very dry. So what I did, I studied Kaplan series, and these are very good books, and they are, they make long-term concepts. So Kaplan series is really good. Then is Pathorma, which is for pathology. Some people also study, BRS pathology, but I would recommend Pathorma. And the other thing is that you have just to do general pathology if you're not appearing in Part 1 of pathology. Okay, if you're going to prepare FCPS Part 1 in any other specialty other than pathology, you should only read 1 to 6 chapters of Pathorma, which are general pathology. And then we have got revision books, which are first aid USMLE step 1. Guys, keep it in mind, one person who does not read or go through first aid USMLE step 1, he or she thinks that he has not prepared himself for the examination up to mark. USMLE step 1 is an excellent book, and I would like to share one aspect of how much I like this book is that I still keep this book with me when I am in third year of my training. So this is a very good book, so one should keep it. Second book is Raviali, SK Pearls, and Tanveer Notes. How we have to go through these books, we will discuss in detail in the next slides. Okay, then MCQ books are again Raviali, SK Pearls, and Asim and Shoaib specialty wise. I would like to tell you that Raviali and Pearls have got two different parts in these books. One part is containing MCQs and the other part is points. So you have to revise only points, and then you have to go for the MCQs. Okay, now we have got subjects. So which subjects we are to follow and which subjects we need to study. Well, how to study different subjects in part 1 preparation. Well, anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, and pathology. These are the four major subjects. Now, what you have to do anatomy from Snell's review, and then you have to do first aid. I mean, if you are doing abdomen and pelvis, and then you do it from Snell's review, and then you go to first aid and revise it, and then you have to revise it from Escapers or Raviali or any other revision book you are following. Similarly, physiology, you have to go for Kaplan physiology, then first aid, and then review. I would recommend you that if you are going to follow this rule, that if you are starting with anatomy and if you are preparing CVS anatomy today, so you should revise this particular aspect of your your area of subject from first aid on the very same day. If you do the whole chapter and then you go to first aid, it's not going to be that fruitful. I would recommend that you just do it from any of your textbook and then go to the first aid and revise it from first aid and escapers and Rabiali. So this is going to be very good. Physiology is from Kaplan Physiology. Pharmacology is from Kaplan Pharmacology. I love this book. Kaplan Pharmacology is a very good book, and most of the MCQs from Kaplan Pharmacology are covered. If you are preparing for FCPS Part 1, especially in anesthesia, you should go for this Kaplan Pharmacology. I would highly recommend to have Kaplan Pharmacology to make your concepts of pharmacology clear, because if you don't have good concepts of pharmacology, you cannot do good in anesthesia part 1. And then we have got pathology, as I said, patharma, and then first aid, and then just review it. You just have to do, if you are not appearing in pathology examination, you just have to do pathology from patharma, which is the general pathology. You have to skip the special pathology features and subjects and chapters from first aid as well as from patharma. Don't waste your time in reading the special pathology for every system. Okay, you are going to waste the time. Other subjects, of course, biochemistry, immunology, biochemistry, all other subjects which are not written in this particular slides are very well covered from first aid. So you have to do first aid from first page till the end. Now, how we have to do our preparation according to our specialty. For example, one is doing specialty FCPS in anesthesiology, other is doing in ophthalmology, the third person is doing in gynecology. I cannot tell you all of them what you have to do, but I can recommend to anesthesiology people what they have to do, because I belong to anesthesiology. So the books for anesthesiology are Smith, Morgan, Asim Shoaib, and Ajay Shadif. The people who are listening to this video, please stay tuned, because in the end I would tell you after specialty distribution that how we have to revise it for all the people who are listening to this video, not only those who belong to anesthesia. So please stay tuned and stay here. Okay. So books for anesthesiology people are Smith, and from Smith you have to do pharmacology. From Morgan you have to do tables, and Asim and Shoaib you have to do at least two times. One at the beginning of your MCQ revision or MCQ studies, and one is at the end of the days before your exam. Ajay Yadav is a plus and minus. If you really want to do Ajay Yadav, you can go for it, and if you don't want to do, I mean, it's okay if you don't do Ajay Yadav before FCPS part 1. I did not do it, and I passed. So you don't do it, you don't need to do it. Okay. Well, anesthesiology books guide is only that you have to do Smith pharmacology wholeheartedly, and then you have to do machine and physics from Smith chapters. They are only 2 to 3 chapters, and the other thing is tables from Morgan, and you don't have to do all the Morgan tables. You just have to do what physics tables, and as well as pharmacology tables. Don't go for whole book of Morgan and its tables for a part one thing. And other thing is that, my dear anesthesiology fellows, don't go for anesthesiology part one without doing head and neck anatomy, without doing thorax anatomy, without doing neuroanatomy from Kaplan. If you go without these three particular anatomy regions, you are not going to pass it very clearly. So please mind it, you have to go like this. You have to do three regions like this. Now we have to do strategies. There are two strategies for any preparation. One is, systematic, and the other is subject wise. What is a systematic? Basically, you just start from one system and then you switch to the other system of your body organ system. I'm talking about the organ system. For example, you start with CNS or you start with CVS. Start with your favorite system which you want to study, and what you have to do, you have to start with anatomy of that system. Okay, and once you are done with anatomy, you have to do the anatomy from the Snell's review or any book you want to study, and then you have to do its first aid part, and then you have to do its Rabiali and SK part, and then you have to do its MCQs as well. So this is the best way you can cover the whole system, starting with anatomy, then physiology, and repeating that strategy from textbook to revision books to the MCQ books, and then pharmacology, and then pathology. Pathology, again, I would say don't go for special pathology. You just have to do the general pathology. Okay. Then is subject wise. Most of the people do it, and yes, that's a very good strategy too. But I opted for systematic strategy, and I really liked that systematic strategy. Okay, subject wise strategy may you will do anatomy, because of course if you have revised the anatomy of a system, then only you can go for a physiology. So in the subject wise strategy also start with anatomy, and when you have done all the anatomy, do first aid anatomy, all the anatomy, and then whole Rabiali anatomy part, and then whole SK anatomy part, and then all these MCQs, and then only switch to physiology. Don't go for textbook for anatomy and then textbook of physiology, and at the end of once you have done all the textbook, and then at the last moment you are doing first aid and Rabiali, and you see that you have no time to revise them, and you don't have time to do your MCQ. So don't go in any part one examination without MCQ practice, and without first aid. So you have to do anatomy, then it's first aid, then it's very Rabiali, and it's very SK present, then switch to the next subject. Now, in the last days, what you have to do? In the last days, I would say that you have to do first aid again from one end to the other end, because we have not discussed the other subjects, which is biochemistry, which is immunology, which is microbiology, which is other subjects. So these subjects have to be covered from first aid only, and the MCQ books, of course. You don't have to go for the textbooks of these subjects. So you have to do first aid wholeheartedly, Rabiali, SK Pearls, Asim Shwaib of your own speciality, and Tanveer notes. Mind it, my dear friends, you have to do Tanveer notes at only end days of your revision. You can spare 10 to 12 days for Tanveer notes, because one chapter should take 1 day, and you don't have to spare 12 hours of your time for Tanveer notes only. You just spare 3 hours for one chapter of Tanveer notes in 1 day, and do Asim and Shuaib as well. So you can divide your books like this, yani ke you are doing Asim and Shuaib in first part of the day, and then you are doing one chapter of Tanveer notes in the other part of the day. So you can manage things like this in the last days of revision, but you don't have to start Tanveer notes when you are starting the preparation for any part one examination, because Tanveer notes are written in a very general manner. If you start your preparation with Tanveer notes, you are not going to grab them, and you are going to waste your time like anything. So please do Tanveer notes, must do Tanveer notes, but in the end of your revision. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this clears many of the concepts at how we have to prepare for part 1, and I am available for any assistance. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and please press the bell icon. Thank you. Bye.